little bit fuzzy. But as you can see, our current objective has appeared on the screen, and it says to meet Beck at the big creepy gate. You may remember that Beck is someone who is new to the town of Beacon Pines. She has just arrived with her parents, her mothers, and one of her mums, I think, is working for one of the prominent members of the town. So let's see what we need to do. Let me see if my controller's actually working. There we go. Is it working now? Good. Anger from the past mistakes not yet made, and a glimmering hope for the future. He carried them all in equal parts everywhere he went. Oh heavens, what a burden to bear. Okay, let's speak to this lady. Oh, we can't speak to her. So it looks like, I don't know if it's the day of the festival, there's lots of bunting strewn around. Oh, we can't talk to these people either. Okay. Sorry, I just knocked my microphone. No, we also can't talk to any of these people. I don't know where. I can't remember where the big gate is. I don't remember. It's fun slapping a watermelon. I recommend it. If you're ever at a loose end and you have a watermelon lying around, give it a good old slap. Might make you feel better. Oh, who's this? I don't recognise this person. Good morning, Jeff. I'm not sure how well you can hear it, but that is the best sort of character voice we've had in this game so far, I think. What's so good about it? Another day further down the tubes, if you ask me. Come on now, it's not all bad. The festival is coming up. The festival. I can't even do like an equivalent voice, it's incredible. Old man Valentine used to put on cockamamie shindigs all the time. And where did that get us? Well, it's Perennial Harvest putting on this one, and they're doing it for the whole town. As far as I see it, the difference between old Valentine Company and this new Perennial Harvest outfit, Jeff dug through his pockets for a bit, is the difference between this empty soup can and this brown banana. But those are both garbage. Exactly. Now, Jeff, why did you have an empty can of soup in your pocket? Is what I want to know. Can we go in the library? We can. I'm assuming. Oh, we can talk to someone. Hey, Kato. Good afternoon, Luca. Can I help you find something? Maybe, maybe not. Try me. Well, there's been some weird stuff going on at the old Valentine warehouse. Can't say I know anything about the old warehouse, but empty hives don't stay empty for long. Huh? Kato motioned to the book in front of him. The more I read about bees, the more similarities I see with people. If a hive collapses and fails, it doesn't stay empty for long. A new queen will set up shop pretty quickly. So you're saying it would make sense for someone new to start using the warehouse? Nature abhors a vacuum. Interesting thoughts there, Kato. And who is this? Hey, Chase. Oh, hey, Luca. Have you seen this new issue of Hankatomic? Not yet. No spoilers, please. It's awesome. It's a flashback. No spoilers, please. We get to see how mild-mannered Henry Adams becomes. Hankatomic, man of space spoilers. A lot of people don't understand that means no spoilers. Okay, we're heading back this way. I don't know if we're going to the gate near the old factory. Oh no, it's this one, okay, near the big spooky house. So here is Beck. So who all lives in that house? Eris and Gus Valentine grew up there. And Solomon moved in a few years back. The creepy little kid in the vest. That sounds like the one. So just 3 people live in that huge thing. I bet a bunch of shady stuff happens all the time in a place like that. Not really, the Valentines pretty much keep to themselves. So it's empty and boring. Pretty much. What a waste, indeed. My mum says that it used to be way busier, back before Sharper died. Before the foul harvest. Okay, that's like the 5th time someone mentioned this foul harvest thing. And you all use that same ominous tone. Eventually you're going to explain to me how that harvest got all fouled up. But we can't keep my parents waiting anymore. This way. I remember now Luca was invited to Beck's house for dinner. Well, that's a pretty little house and garden. Most kids would have just ditched me by this point. Why are you still here? You look like you could use some help. You know what, Luca? You're not so bad. Let's get through this as simply as possible. Just eat, smile and nod. Fun. Great. Whatever you do, don't bring up their work. I think I can handle that. Beck took a long breath, then gave a firm nod. Here goes nothing. And we've reached Chapter 4, Dinner with the Modewills. Ilona Modewell was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that. So, Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river. Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck, manners. It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertiliser plant 6 years back. The sad music has come in just in time. Oh dear. My mum's been missing for a few months now. Like, missing. Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. So they like pineapple on pizza, that's confirmed. You can judge them accordingly. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence. Luca, how did you like the pizza? Oh no. Oh, it was good. Okay, so very good. So either Luca is just a polite young man, or he also likes pineapple on pizza. This is all useful information. I'm sure it's relevant to the mystery. Normally we'd have put more effort into dinner. Ilona nervously gestured towards the boxes. We aren't fully settled in, and Beck had mentioned that it's your favourite. I'm sorry, are we just skipping the part where he said his mum was missing? Beck! I'm sorry, Luca, this move has us all a little tired. Luca wiped his face with his sleeve. No, it's fine. So, Beck said that you moved here for work. Uh-oh. Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table, and a bit of side-eye, looks like. Ow. I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her their newest lead researcher of deep engineering. She makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is at the forefront of evolving architecture into something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground. Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath. What Nellie means, Luca, is that there are different ways to grow plants. Yes, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best. And some people happily leave their job to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you didn't. Beck slammed her fist into the table. Perhaps harder than she intended. Hey, Luca, how about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rolo soon. Luca glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds. Looks like there's a storm brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here. Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up. Thank you all for the pizza, it really was good. See you at the festival, Beck. She tossed a coin. Wait up. I'll walk you home. Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rolo could be prickly around new people, but Beck seemed cool. Rolo would warm up to her eventually. Probably. Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble or break. What should we choose? What should we choose? Let's go with rumble. It's a bit less dramatic than break, because that means a threat of rain versus maybe actual rain. So we'll go with rumble. Let's see what happens. The clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder. You sure we can make it home before this storm kicks off? Luca surveyed the roiling clouds. I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should just stay here and I'll just make a break for it. At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain. Care to recalculate those odds? So he didn't miss the rain after all. Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold. So Luca's gonna miss meeting up with Rolo. Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. Wait, you want to just go through her stuff? Oh, there's a microscope. Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope. This looks wild. What is it? adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look. I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days. That's a lot of chewing, a long time. Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh. It's weird, I know. Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet. You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. Oh wow! Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mum and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation. Luca flicked at one of the toggles. I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here it's all farm reports and static. Ah, shucks. Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odour, they were well past their prime. Amazing. We have the pungent charm. He flipped open the attached card. Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry. Was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. Oh, more thunder. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Sassy. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Very true. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest, that hurt more than I expected. Well, at least she looked cool doing it. Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window. Rivulets, what a good word. Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem. Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly. I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little: don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own though. You got to do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna change. Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night. Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mum? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Rah. Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper. I just want to be a normal kid. Peck brushed off her shirt and straightened up. There. Wow, I actually feel a little better. As abruptly as it began, the storm abated. Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival. Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you around. Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with a hard rain's residue. The smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rolo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rolo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse. We've got to catch up with Rolo at the treehouse. Well, after the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of the town. Well, it seems like a very cathartic thing to shout at the rain. The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally. Spooky house, and it's our little friend. I love Dawn, look how cute she is. Hey Dawn, tracking down a lead. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumour has it, old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains the way Eris treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals her source, Luca. Well, thanks, Dawn, for that very useful information. Right, we really need to head to the treehouse. It's dark everywhere in town. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just looking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir, very much, sir. Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them? No. That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy. Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work till the last task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. Well, I'm glad we didn't run into him. Let's get to the treehouse. Rolo, are you still up there? I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back, never. Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing. You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason. I didn't abandon you. I'm just a little late. Rolo scoffed. The rain held me up. Liar! You weren't even home. What? Excuse my belly, did you hear it rumbling? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, that storm rolled in and out of nowhere, and I got stuck after dinner at Beck's house. Lucas stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much. Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you, and you were off making new friends. It's not like that, Rolo. You know, while I was waiting I made up some upgrades to mission control. It was going to be a surprise, but you took so long the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean? Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance. It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you, but I kept my word, 'cause that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your gran doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want, and you wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this. If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend. Rolo's tone changed to a calm yet more intense anger. Maybe Pa is right. Storms bring more than water. This one brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa is still around. The words hung in the cold night air. Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late. Luca, Good night, Rolo. Dang it. Well, we're home and it's been a very tumultuous day, emotionally, hasn't it? Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for. Rolo. What a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Oh, I'm Rolo. Look at me and my amazing family. I guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Oh, that's sad. We have a weep charm. Luca. Gran cooed gently from the hallway. You slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure. Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing. To take a quick break to eat a snack because my tummy was rumbling, and then I got distracted because there was a woodpecker at the bird feeders. So my apologies, I am back. I kick this football round. Oh no, I can't anymore. Oh, I can. I bet Rolo's still gonna go to the festival. Well, I'm sure he will. Humph. He's gonna be miserable. He probably will be. If Rolo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him, he can shove it. Oh, so you're really not going outside? Okay. Well, what can we do then? Kick a football around. He took an angry nap. Luca dozed off again. Luca, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich in here too. Thanks. Rolo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So, your plan is to just sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. if you decide to end your pity party and go outside. I think it'd do you some good. Noted. Lucas still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rolo, he'd have to actually confront the situation. What are you going to do then, Luca? There's nothing to do in your room but kick a football around. There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway. The Adventures of Hank Atomic. The complete first volume. So Lucas knocked a comic from the bookshelf. Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rolo had received it for his birthday. A special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rolo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rolo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind, but it had stayed right there where Rolo stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway. Luca, another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modewell. She said you met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh, she seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. All right then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want a bite before bedtime. Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud, gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source. Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was beacon pines itself. people. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them. The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them, not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Well, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we chose matters just as much as what we chose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun. Mum? No, dear, it's only Gran. Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his Gran came into focus. How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo thought about doesn't matter. But Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on his leg. Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. We have an accept charm Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't it? Luca gave a reluctant nod. So buy him a corn dog and apologise. But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Got some last-minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. All right. I love you, Luca. Love you too. Luca took a deep breath. Okay. Chapter 6. Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rolo. And I have to take a sip of tea. A bit more than a sip, that was more of a gulp. Right. We need to go and find Rolo. There you are, Luca. Rolo wanted me to tell you something. What is it? Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him. Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt. Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favour. Now I need one favour from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Well, somewhere quiet sounds like the library, because we can look at space adventures without having to buy them. There's drinks, or we can speak to the people. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an XUVA. And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters has packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. I dread to think what else it could be. Oh, I don't know if we should speak to him, but maybe we will. Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech. Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth. Gotta limber up the old gab box. You nervous? Oh, heavens no. Well, break a leg. Give me the... Oh, I missed... It disappeared before I could read it. There's Roxy. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. The weather's still cruddy. like it's going to be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fitz, I'm still going to be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech and the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You don't want to miss it. Okay, Mr. Sinclair's still asleep. Ain't moving. I think that's fair enough. Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look. Hey Jeff, everything alright? His voice still cracks me up. Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know. I really do, actually. Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod. You do, don't ya? For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze. It's Seymour and... forgotten her name. Every single time. Yup. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. Okay. I'm sorry I have to keep pausing because I've got a real tickle in my throat. I keep having to cough. So if there's weird little breaks, that's why. A most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the foul harvest. I had my doubts about Perennial Harvest, but I must admit they do put on a nice party. Let's see if we can speak to our little book reader. He met his old friend's eyes and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens, this is no time for fractured friendships. Maybe she's reading the book of the game we're playing. Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying. I wanted to see what all the festival fuss is about. But I can't help but notice you still brought your backpack full of books. Luca, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True. So what you got in there? Books. It's the mayor. I was able to return the Perennial Harvest safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favour for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it? All you need to know is that it's good. It's for the good of the family. I know we haven't been up here for a while. I know we're meant to be finding Rolo. Speak to Dawn. Oh, I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? The way I figure it, Perennial Harvest is trying to win over the town. Like a bribe, but with balloons. Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you that this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honour? The special guest who... I haven't dug that deep yet, but who Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me or just grab a different one. Well, it's not that one, is it? It must be an issue of the comic, I assume. There were rarely any actual new editions, simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week, not fooling anyone. Where were all the comics? Were they up here? Luca grabbed the Adventures of Hank Atomic issue 4 from the shelf. Luca grabbed the Adventures of Hank Atomic issue 5 from the shelf. Well, let's see if that's correct, shall we? Ah, you found it! Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition. Rolo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for his purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rolo. Now let's see here. Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word. Get away with such a grift. He continued flipping. Only found in grub cart. Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up. That's it. Grift in grub cart. Grift in Griffin. Griffin's grub cart. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Kato. Look how pleased with himself he looks. Okay, well, off we go then. Now, where was it? Is it down here or is it up where we came from? Who's this little guy? Luca, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Wow, yeah, I didn't know. What's that mean? It means most public works are handled internally. We do all the pipelines for water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Census taking, emergency services. We made it. Hey Griffin, did Rolo come? Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog. Oh, that's it. Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something. Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog. Yuck. It's cold. Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's just... Luca tugged at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper. Oh, come on. He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip. A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain, up the step. Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog. Oh, this is getting to be a whole thing. Well, Rolo's really put a lot of effort into this. Well, there's the fountain. Up these steps, is this what it means? sweet. What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. Good luck, Luca. What could that be? What takes eyes? There's Rolo with the balloons. Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well then. I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here you've earned this. Rolo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons. We've got a flight charm. Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologise first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologised twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mum and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know. When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rolo, still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now. Luca threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could. Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mum. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait 1 more day. You know, I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. Our little fisherman's here. Did you hear? After Mr. Kerr gives his big speech, they're going to have the first annual biggest catch competition. As long as a boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this. Rolo handed Luca an unopened letter. I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter? Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward, but if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday that you can accept that. Love, Gran. I love you too, Gran. Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder. What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rolo. Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary. The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year. Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse. Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks. It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself. I was not expecting that. A shockwave of cold tore through the room, a bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. Well, I suspect we may be able to go back and use some of our charms to change the story so it doesn't end in this very sad way. But we will have to do that in our next video. So I will leave it there, and hopefully we can create a different ending when we next see each other. So I hope you enjoyed another instalment of Beacon Pines. It really is very fun. And thank you for watching. I will see you next time.